In this video, I'm going to be going over the top 10 must-have cards right now in Season 8 in NBA 2K23 Myteam. As you guys know, Season 8 just dropped, and there's been tons of new cards in the game that you guys can pick up on the auction house, and there are cards that you can get for free. But then there's also a huge market crash happening that will most likely happen for the rest of Season 8, where the market's super low, where, for example, my first must-have card is this Radiant T-Mac. A card before the season drop was like 80,000 MT, maybe even a little bit more, and now you can find this Radiant T-Mac for 25,000 MT, which is kind of ridiculous. So these are just going to be the top 10 must-have cards, a group of cards that are just amazing for their price. Whether you're trying to add cards to an expensive squad, or you want some budget players for a budget team, or just some mid-level cards, these will be, in my opinion, the top 10 must-have cards right now in season number 8. So like I said, first card I want to talk about, and it's not in order, but the first card I wanted to talk about is the Dark Matter Radiant T-Mac. Like I said, is now down to 25,000 MT, who is a 6'8" shooting guard, 7'2" wingspan, still has a top tier jump shot with the KPJ base, Oscar upper on quick timing, does have pretty good dribble sigs, and is still one of the better offensive shooting guards in the game. So if you guys are looking for a cheap, really good offensive shooting guard, I don't think there's many better options than this Dark Matter Radiant T-Mac. So I feel like for most people, this is going to be a must-have card on your squad. Next card here though is going to be Dark Matter Kristaps, kind of for the same reason, a card that dropped all the way from like 90,000 MT, maybe even a little bit more. I know it came out in season 5, just like, you know, T-Mac, but these cards are still amazing, and you can now find Kristaps for actually under 30,000 MT, like 25 to 30k. So you can actually play him on a lot of budget squads, and there's really not that many great budget centers in the game. That's why I think Kristaps is a must-have center card who can also play power forward, 7'3" at the 5 and the 4, 7'6" wingspan, and we know he's still going to be a really good stretch 4 or really good stretch 5. He's got a great jump shot on very quick timing. He's got a 95 3 ball, almost every single Hall of Fame shooting badges in the game, and the card's a very solid defender because of his size. So I think Kristaps for some budget teams and some mid-level squads is going to be a must-have card. Now to talk about some more expensive must-have cards is actually going to be this interdimensional Bull that, as crazy as it sounds to say, is a buy now. I'm not even kidding. On Xbox, I'm assuming on PlayStation, is a buy now, which means you can find them for under 100,000 MT. That is kind of crazy, man, for a 7'2" small forward, 7'7" wingspan, and a card that is still a top 3 small forward in the game for under 100,000. I mean, this is a card I feel like everybody must have on their lineup, you know, whether you're a mid-level team, whether you're running an expensive squad, and then even if you're like a budget player, this is a card that I try to save up for because he can really change your lineup with his defense, his size, his jump shot, his dribble sigs. Like, he's still one of the more overpowered cards in the game. Yes, it's not his hero version, but there's not too big of a difference between the hero Bull and the interdimensional one. He gives you like 95% of what the interdimensional one gives you, about 95% of what the hero gives you, and for under 100,000 MT, this card I do feel like is a must-have. Next must-have card here in Season 8, I do think is the Dark Matter Titans Yao Ming. Now, whether you want to go for the Galaxy Opal or you want to go for the Dark Matter, I've heard they're around the same price. Like, I think the Galaxy Opal is about like 70k, 65k, somewhere in that price tag. He's about 65 to 70,000 MT. But then the Dark Matter one actually isn't that much more expensive. Like, you take a look at Dark Matter Yao, and you can find them for, I think, around like 85, 90k, maybe even a little bit cheaper. And this Yao Ming card for under 100,000, once again, just like Bull, is an insanely good value card, and a guy that I think is a must-have card in the game. A Yao Ming card that can compete against every other center for pretty much the rest of the year. He's 7'6" at the center position, 7'9" wingspan, still has a great player model, amazing interior defender. He's got a 97 block, 96 interior defense, and then he can still space out the floor, 83 ball, 97 mid-range, Hall of Fame catch and shoot, Claymore, Deadeye, Green Machine guard up, and actually does have a very solid jump shot with the Robert Williams base and the Shea upper on very quick timing. So I think if you guys are, once again, a mid-level player or looking for a card to play on a mid-level or expensive team, I mean, Yao Ming, you can't get really much better value at the center position. Next must-have card though is going to be some more budget options. The next 2 or 3, I mean, Thompson is amazing for his price, right? I wanted to give you guys some must-have budget cards, and I think Thompson is a must-have budget card for majority of the player base. You can find this card for about 15k, maybe a little bit cheaper, 10 to 15k, somewhere in that price range, and he's going to be such a good point guard. 6'7" at the 1, 7-foot wingspan, and this card can really do it all. He's got great defense, he can slash at the basket, he's super quick, he's athletic, he can jump out the gym, he's got a really good jump shot with the D Rose base. Steph Curry upper on very quick timing is still one of my favorite point guard jump shots in the game. He's got great dribble sigs, and then he's also got the best dunk packages with the quick drops off one and the front clutches, and then he's also got all of those crazy dunk packages in between, like the MJ, Giannis, Clyde, Ja, Vince, Shaq, Zion. Like, this card is going to be slamming it like crazy, and then also does have perfect defensive tendencies. So if you guys are looking for a budget point guard, I do think Myteam Thompson is a must-have budget PG. And now talking about another must-have budget card, I think you got to put AK in there because of his versatility. Able to play small forward and shooting guard, 6'9" at the 3 and the shooting guard spot, 7-foot wingspan, and we know AK is still going to be one of the best defenders in my team, especially on ball as a perimeter defender, and then still does have a pretty decent jump shot. And once again, he's very cheap, only about, I think, 20k, maybe even a little bit cheaper, 15 to 20k around that price, and he is so good for that price, man. Like, the fact that this card can play the small forward position if you want him to, but mainly going to be a shooting guard, still does have a pretty good jump shot with the O-shape base, Miles Bridges upper on very quick timing, and then does have solid dribble sigs with the tray size up and the tray escape. So AK all around, I think, is a must-have budget card. Now, next two are going to be some more expensive, kind of mid-level prices, is going to be Dark Matter Mark Eden, a card that is still really holding its value because there's no other really good centers besides, I guess, that Dark Matter Kristaps, but there's no real giant centers that are for a budget price. Like, Mark Eden actually is like one of the only few cards since Season 8 dropped to actually go up in price. He was about 45k before the new season came out. He's probably around the same price. I'm looking on Xbox right now. He's still about 45k, so around the same price tag, for Mark Eden, and that's because there's no real other good centers in the game for that mid-level price tag. He's 7'4" at the 5, 7'7" wingspan. He's still going to be one of the best interior defenders in the game. He can rebound the ball like crazy, he can run the court, and he does have a pretty good jump shot. So I think Mark Eden going to be a must-have center card for like a mid-level or budget team. Now, I did want to talk about Pink Diamond Taco and Victor Wembanyama, very similar cards for around the same price. Taco about 70-80k, Victor around that same price tag as well, and they're both going to be amazing giant power forwards. You got Taco Fall, 7'6" with an 8'2" wingspan, not the best of stats, and that's why I think Victor Wembanyama is a little bit better. He's 7'5" at the 4, 8-foot wingspan, one of the best player models in the game, but his stats are going to be a little bit better, all around. He's quicker, high 3-ball, better defender, and does have a way better jump shot, way better dribble sig. So I do think Victor and Taco, though, going to be must-have cards on majority of squads. Even if we're talking about some of the best teams in the game, these cards can definitely still compete and honestly get run against some of the best cards in my team. And then for the final card, I wanted to talk about a bunch of different free cards. That's what I like to do on these top 10 must-have cards, is giving like the 10th spot to tons of different free cards that I want to go over. So Bill Russell, Kevin Durant, Paolo Banchero, I think is all combined into one singular player, right? If you're looking to go after that all-time spotlight grand prize and you want to get the endgame option pack, I think these are must-have cards in the game. Whether you want to choose Bill Russell, you want to choose Kevin Durant, or Paolo Banchero for completely free, once again from that endgame option pack that you do get for completing the all-time spotlight challenges, I think is a must-have thing to do. Go out, get yourself Kevin Durant, who's probably the best shooting guard in the game and will be for most of the rest of the year. So then Kevin Durant, Paolo Banchero, Bill Russell, they're must-have, free cards in the game. I think Doug Christie, he's a must-have free card, a top 5 point guard, and you do get for completely free along the way to get that endgame option pack. And then also, if you take a look at cards in season number 8, right, grinding for Joel Embiid, I think could definitely be worth it. And then there's some solid other invincibles that I do think are must-haves. But yeah, guys, that's going to be my top 10 must-have cards in the game right now. Let me know in the comment section down below, maybe if there's any other must-have cards. I'm sure there is tons of other cards in the game that you guys feel are must-haves. These are just going to be, in my opinion, the top 10, but let me know down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.